Welcome to day 21 of How to Automate Your Law Firm in 90 Days. I am Shay Jackson, your AI automation specialist. We are kicking off a two-part series of the client lead form in Airtable. It's similar to the four-part series we did with Google Sheets, but we'll only take 2 days because it'll be the same creation, formation of the database, and then also connecting the apps. If you're wondering if I'm trying to win you over to Airtable, the answer is absolutely. Let's dive in. Let's get started. I am in Airtable. You go to airtable.com and I am in my ABC Law Firm workspace. Now, if this looks very fresh and new to you, I would strongly encourage you to go and take a look at some of my Airtable videos that I created. I think it's maybe day 4, day 5, but I will have a link up top just giving you an overview of Airtable because I definitely want to win you over. So here again, I am in my ABC Law Firm workspace. And what I want to do is create a base for my client lead form. In order to do that, I am going to click create, and I want to not build an app with AI. I am going to start from scratch. And what I want to do is create the same columns that I have for the client lead form in Google Sheets. Now, one thing that I will tell you is a quicker way that I could have done this is downloading this form, this spreadsheet, and just uploading it in Airtable. But because it's been so long since I talked about and gave a demonstration in Airtable, I do want to do a walkthrough just to refresh, renew, or introduce you to Airtable and how you are able to create tables, bases, forms, fields. Okay. So I will be clicking back and forth. I think I kind of remember some of the fields, but just want to click back to make sure. By default, this is what my base will look like. And if you're new to Airtable, a base is just similar to the table or the sheet that you have in Google Sheets, okay? But it's a little bit more powerful. Airtable is a little bit more powerful, and I will be able to demonstrate that in this video. So the first thing I want to do is I want to create a row, and for that row, I am going to look up auto number, okay? Because I want Airtable to automatically number the records as they come in. You see it says auto number right here. Give a field name. I'll just put, I think I'll put auto number 2 as my field. And I'm going to click create field. And what I'm going to do is I want this to be my first field. I'm going to drag it over, and it's asking, do I want to change my primary field? And the answer is yes, because right now, and let me see if I can, I don't know why that box is there. Let me refresh right quick to see if that'll resolve the issue. There we go. So what I want to do is right now you see name is my first field, which is considered my primary field, and I want to change it to auto number. So what I'm going to do is drag this field over to the left, and that is why it's asking, do you want to change your primary field? And I'm going to say yes. Change my primary field, and now you see that auto number is the first field. And as I am going down, as new potential clients are being added, then it'll number it. Okay. So Let's go over to these fields, name, and the icon on the side tells what field type it is. This is a single line text, which is definitely appropriate for a name. However, one of the things that I talked about when I was talking about the client lead form in Google Sheets is separating the first name and the last name. This is so helpful when you are trying to send an automation, because most times you don't send someone's full name when you're sending an email or a text. You'll either send their first name like hello Michelle, or you'll send their last name and it'll be Miss or Mr. or Miss Davis. Okay, that is why I separate, and it's a good practice to separate the first name and last name, because you want to sound as genuine and non-robotic as possible when you're sending, creating automations. So that is what I'm going to do. For this name, I'm going to leave it here, but I'm going to click the down arrow. I am going to edit the field, and I am going to make this first name. Okay, save. And now right here, I'm going to change this. And you know what? Let me just delete all of these. I'm going to delete these fields. All I did was click on the first one I want to delete, and I'm holding the shift key and I'm going down to the last one, the last field I want to delete, and I'm right clicking so I can delete the three fields so we can start fresh. Okay, so we have auto number, we have first name, the next field is last name, and it is also going to be single line text. And in case you didn't see my video talking about the field types, single line text is just the same as you would have like in a Google form, where it's very like a short line. It's not that many words that you're using. So for last name, it's only one word or an abbreviated last name. So single line text will definitely be sufficient. I'm going to click create field. I think email and then phone number is next. Yes, email, phone number, and then zip code. So I'm going to go back. And before I start, you know what I want to do? I want to go ahead and I want to rename this, because you see it says untitled base. And I want to name it the base client lead form in Airtable. All I did was click the down caret, and I am going to type in client lead form. Okay. And I'll just click out of it and you see it changes it. Now I'm going to add a new field, and the next field is email. And what is pretty cool about Airtable is I can look up and it has an actual email field that I can put in. I'm going to click create a field. Next, phone number. So I'm going to name this field phone number. And yes, I am going to, if you look, it's right here. But if you were looking to see if it had a certain field type, all I would need to do is start typing in, and you see it automatically shows up. So I am going to click phone number, create field. I think the next thing is, is zip code, then date of injury, and then describe injury. So zip code is next. And I am going to make zip code a number field. Now, when I click on number field, you see some more things open up. Do we want to select decimal places? The answer is no, because for zip codes, there are no decimal places. And also, we don't need a thousand separator. Okay, we just want it to be the regular number, like 33305 without a comma. And those are the changes that I made. And just let me go over it one more time. I chose for zip code the number, and what I did was for decimal places, by default it was 1, and that's why you saw that 1.0 right here, but we don't want any decimal places for our zip code, so we changed it to 0. And then for the thousands and decimal separators, this was by default on, where I would have a comma for the thousands place. However, we don't want that for our zip code, so we took that out. We're done with zip code. We are going to click create field. Next is date of entry. And just let me make sure, date of entry, describe injury. Okay. So for date of injury, I'm going to populate that for my field name. And now for date of entry, I'm going to go to date. And here I am going to have the date of entry. So it's asking, do enter a date, and you can either type it in or you can choose from a calendar. Okay. And this is what it will look like. And what's pretty cool about Airtable, you can choose what you would like your date to look like. You can have it look where it's just the numbers for the month, date, and year, or you can spell out the year, the date. I'm sorry, not the year, the date. It's definitely up to you. For right now, most people do understand having just the digits for the date. So I'm going to leave it as local. No, we don't need to include the time, in my opinion, unless it's something, it was something that was very time sensitive that we needed. But for date of entry, we don't need that. And display time zone, no, we don't need that. And do we need to default it to the current date? We do not, because we want the potential client to complete or add what the date of their injury is. Now that we're done with that, we are going to click next. We want describe injury. Okay, so for describe injury, we know it's going to be probably a little wordy, right? More than 1 or 2 words. So for this one, I'm going to choose, and I'm sorry, it's like, I can't remember the name of the word, flickering like that. We want to put in long text. And long text, you see right here, it says enter. Oh, let me go back to long text. Enter multiple lines of text or generate text with AI. We can enter multiple lines. So this gives a potential client enough room to put in a summary about their injury. Okay. Create field. Now let me go over one more time. We have new lead, that's a checkbox, and also initial contact, which is the date. So for new lead, we're going to type in new lead, and this is whether or not if they are truly a new lead, or if it's a client who may have completed our client lead form before, because that's important. Okay. And I'm going to put a checkbox. And here you see for checkbox, there are different styles that you can use for the checkbox. And for this one, we'll keep the green check. Create a field. And then we're going to add one more. And that is initial contact. And that is when did they complete the client lead form. We're going to go to date. Now, we want it to default to the current day, because we want to know when they fill it out what day they actually filled it out, and we are going to create a field. So again, that was off by default, but we want to for it to default to the current date whenever the client lead form is completed. And that is it. This matches the spreadsheet we have in Google Sheets. It actually matches it in Airtable. Now, if you looked at the 4-part series that I had for client lead form with Google Sheets, one of the things that I did was start off with Google Forms, okay? And then after Google Forms, I connected Google Sheets. Here is the power of Airtable. Instead of me having two applications, because remember we had the form, that was one, and then we added it to the Google Sheets, it's two, we are able in Airtable for it to just be in one centralized location. What? Yes, that is correct. Let me show you how. One of the things that I talked about in my Airtable series were the different views that you could have. And this is the grid view, but you have a calendar view, gallery, a gallery view. This is more for like pictures or visual cards, Kanban. If you like, think of like a Kanban board, it's like having different headings up at the top, and then you have different cards where you can move back and forth. Timeline, we are working on the free version, so we can't use anything that says team on blue. We can't use that, but all of the free is still powerful. Okay. Now, after the 90 days, we will get to a point where we will be using a team version of Airtable. But right now, a team plan of Airtable, we're using just the free plan. So we can use the list, but this is what I want to show you, form. The form view is similar to Google Forms. Let me click it. It says try upgraded form building experience. We just want to create a form, okay? And what we're going to make it is our client lead form, and we're going to keep it, who can edit it, we're going to keep it collaborative, because anyone that I share this the link with, that they have edit permissions, then I'm okay with them editing the form. Okay, create new view, and now this is what my client lead form looks like. And here I can add a description. Thank you for contacting, oh, if I can spell correctly. Thank you for contacting ABC Law Firm. Please complete our firm for a great client experience. Okay, so now you see the only thing that, oh, and no, not really, because one of the things that I was going to say is in Google Forms, for free, you are able to put like the header and also, a cover image and also a header, a logo. But in Airtable, that is part of the team plan. But this is what it looks like. And let me open it up. Open the form so that you can see what it looks like. Okay, you see we have our first name. And so this doesn't look bad. Over here, it looked a little not unprofessional. It looked kind of bland because we don't have our cover image and our logo. But if we have this on our website, if we create a link, because you are able to share the form, if we have it on any of our social media platforms where potential clients can click on it, you see that when they click on it, this is what it'll look like. And so we're good. Okay. You see, we have first name, last name, email, phone number, zip code, date of entry. You put it in the calendar, same as the Google Sheets. Now, there are two things that I want to change. One, I don't want new lead. Oh, maybe. I think I maybe will keep it. And they can click whether or not they're a new lead. But see, you see for initial contact, it automatically puts the date that the form was completed. Okay. And that is all. So now what I'm going to do on part two is for the next video. Now that we have our sheet fill completed, and oh, and let me show you. Let me do this. So I'm going to put in Daisy. I'm going to fill it out, and I'll show you the Daisy Duck at gmail.com. I'm going to show you how it completes it in Airtable. 916. Okay. 33457. Date of injury, I'm going to say it was the 7th. And I said, let me see what we said for the Daisy. Oh, it's I am Daisy. Okay. A tractor accidentally ran over my foot. That's what I'm going to use. Okay. And I'm going to put in I am Daisy. Is it I am Daisy? I am Daisy at Gmail. And you see how it automatically, because we put it as an email field, it automatically highlights it as an email. Okay. I am Daisy at gmail.com. I'm saying, yes, I'm a new lead, and then I'm going to submit. Okay. So the form is submitted. Now, this is shown because I did not say that I did not want like the Airtable advertisement, and I can take that off. I think maybe just for the free plan, the team plan, but let me see. So look, and the only reason that it didn't go right here is because these three were already there. So let me delete those records. Let me click in here. Oh, phooey. It won't let me start over. We'll leave it as 4 because the only reason I wanted to change it to 1, I should have deleted those records because it was going to start. It was as if, even though the first 3 records weren't filled out, because they were already there, that is why that was there. And so it made Daisy Duck number 4. And that is it for part 1. Do you see how we have our client lead form and we have our base or our database all in one centralized location, one app, very condensed and concise? One great thing about Airtable. I'll tell you a lot more as we go along. But if you have any questions about automations, AI automations, Airtable, or Make.com, I will have a link in the description box where you can sign up for a free 30-minute consultation. My name is Shay Jackson, your AI automation specialist. Have a great day.